Hey, I ever, I ever tell you about Joe Porcaro? Joe Porcaro. That was the guy who brought me into this business, taught me everything that I know about doing this job. Had a had a nickname for him. Uh, I used to call him Pugsley. Yeah. Anyway, Pugsley taught me how to be the best at this job, and I'll always be grateful to him for this because I love this work, and I think that I'm really good at it, and it's all because of Pugsley. But you know, one time I went out with him on a job, and it was the very first time that I ever used a knife, and he was there, and just kind of kept in the background. He told me what I needed to do, and I came up on the guy, and I botched it up so bad. I mean, I'm hacking away, and the blood's everywhere, and the guy's like, whoa, and Joe's just watching, and that was the thing about him, man. He never looked down at me. I mean, I gutted this guy horrible. It was horrible. I've never made such a mess. And he came up to me afterwards and he said, "You know what? You did good, Bobby." And I know I didn't. You know what he did for me? He went out, unbeknownst to me, and he kidnapped this guy, right? Told me to come down to the docks, that shed we have down there. And he had the guy tied up in there. And he said, "Now look at Bobby. This is how you do it." And he went through, and man, this guy, he was a champ. He just slit this guy's throat. Quick as can be, easy as pie. It was a thing of beauty, man. And he never looked down at me for the way I messed that guy up that first time. I loved him for that. Well, that Pugsley is no longer with us. And I took him out. I was hired by his wife. And only because she blackmailed me. Vinny, listen to me right now. Nobody knows this story. I can't hold on to it anymore, though. I had an affair with her, and she was going to tell him. I couldn't do that. I couldn't let her do that. And so she said to me, "Bobby, we're going to keep this between me and you, but you got to whack him." It killed me because I love this guy. And I'm like, how do I do this? How do I take out Pugsley? and not let anybody know that it was me. For the life of me, I couldn't think of anything. I thought, maybe we'll fishing. I knock him over the boat. We find maybe a vest. Nobody knows. Get seasick. He wouldn't do it. I'm like, okay, maybe I'll invite him over the house. Tell him I need his help painting the house, and he'd be up on a ladder. I'd walk by, give it a shot. Down he'd come. And I'm like, no, that's not going to work. My luck, would break his neck and he'd still be alive. And I know he would get me. I mean, Pugsley is resourceful. He was resourceful. So it finally came on me, the way to do it. He had a party at his house. Remember I told you he built that enormous tiki bar in his backyard? And he had all kinds of friends over, and big party, and big bonfire going. It was great, And I told him I'd mix him up a drink. I made him up one of those fruity drinks that people drink, I says, hey, Pugs, you gotta try this drink, man. You're gonna love it. It's good stuff. And he went and took a sip. And I gave him a big pat on the back. And he sucked down that maraschino cherry. And it got stuck in his windpipe. And I blocked the view from everybody so they couldn't see him choke out. And as he was laying there on the floor, he looked up at me with a tear in his eye. And he knew that it was me who did it, because it was perfect. And now I have to live with that for the rest of my life. Do you know, to this day, I can't eat a cherry. No way. I love cherries. Bing cherries. Those red ones. I love those Washington State ones, They got the yellow in them. Man, I love those cherries. And I can't eat them. Vinny, I ever hear that you spill this, you just remember Pugsley.